Hello students, how are you all? I hope that you all are good. And in our last lecture that we had started motion in a straight line chapter. In that lecture that we had discussed about what is distance and what is displacement. And it is a large lecture and we had discussed what is a vector quantity, what is the meaning of scalar quantity, how to represent the displacement in a vector quantity, okay, how to find the direction of the displacement by using tan theta. So we have discussed a 3, 4, 5 triangle, okay, angle 37, sine 37, cos 37, tan 37, tan 53, sine 53, cos 53, okay. And at the end of the session that we have discussed, whenever the object is moving on the circumference of a circle, so how to find its displacement, okay. So we established one relation, that is displacement is equals to 2r sine theta by 2, okay. So I hope you are understood and enjoyed that lecture, okay. So in today's section that we are going to discuss about a difference between speed and velocity. What is speed, what is velocity, and what are the types of speed and what are the types of velocity, and some applications on speed and velocity. So all these things that we are going to discuss in today's session. So my name is Rakesh Kanganti. Welcome to our beautiful physics channel, Rakesh Sir Physics. Right, shall we start? Okay. So what is the session going on? Motion in a straight line. Motion in a straight line. Class number 2. 02. Okay. Right. Right. What is the topic today? The today topic is what? Speed and velocity. What is speed and what is velocity? Right. So have a look. What is the meaning of a speed and what is the meaning of velocity? Speed means the distance traveled by an object in a unit time is called a speed. What is velocity? The displacement covered by an object in unit time. So distance covered, displacement covered. What is distance? The length of a actual path between initial and final position is called a distance. Here the shortest distance between the 2 points is called a displacement. Are you getting? Here we are taking distance. Here we are talking about displacement. So what is distance? What is displacement? Already we have discussed in a previous session. I hope that you have watched that video. Okay. Right. What is speed? The distance covered by or traveled by, whatever it is, the distance traveled by an object in unit time, is called a speed. Is called what? Speed. Is called speed. So what is velocity? The displacement of an object in unit time, in unit time is called what? Is a velocity. Is called is velocity, whatever it is, just write down. Okay. So the displacement of an object, the distance of an object. Are you getting? So the general formula for speed, in a simple terms, the speed can be written by distance divided by time. In a simple words, in a simple term, simple formula, speed is equals to distance by time. So velocity can be written as, what is that? Displacement by time. Displacement divided by time. Are you getting? Distance by time, displacement by time. Okay. It is a scalar quantity. It is a scalar quantity. What is it? Is means speed. Speed is a scalar quantity. It is a vector quantity. It is a vector quantity. Are you getting? So in a last session, I told you that what is the meaning of scalar, what is the meaning of vector, all these things that we are discussed in a previous session. Scalar means it has only magnitude but not having the direction. Vector means consisting of both magnitude and direction. Are you getting? Right. So SI unit for speed is meter per second, because distance can be measured in meters and time can be measured in seconds. So here also SI unit is equals to how much? Meter per second, because displacement can be measured in meters and the time can be measured in seconds. For both, SI units are same. Are you getting, ma? Right. So speed can be classified into two types. Speed can be classified into two types. So one is average speed and another one is instantaneous speed. Average speed and instantaneous. Are you getting? So these are the two types of speed. And here velocity also classified into two types. Velocity is also classified into two types. So what are those? Average velocity and instantaneous velocity. Average velocity and instantaneous velocity. So have a look. Today we are going to discuss about what is average velocity and what is average speed. Are you getting? Right. So I'm just talking about average speed. Average speed. So average speed is nothing but simply total distance by total distance divided by total time. Total distance by total time is called what? Average speed. Total distance by total time. What is average velocity? So average velocity is nothing but total displacement by total time. Are you getting? Right. Only the difference is here distance, here displacement. What is distance? The length of your actual path between two points. What is displacement? The shortest distance between the 2 points is called a displacement. Only the difference is the distance displacement. So remaining all are same. Okay, right. Let S1 comma S2 comma S3 and so on Sn are the distances of an object covered in T1 comma T2 comma T3 comma and so on Tn time. Therefore an average speed, therefore an average. So this is a symbol for average. Okay, so if any physical quantity is placed in this brackets, so that means what? It means average speed is equals to, we can write total distance. What is the total distance? S1 plus S2 plus S3 plus and so on plus Sn divided by total time T1 plus T2 plus T3 plus and so on plus Tn. So this is called average speed. If you come to here, let x1 and x2 are the initial and final positions of an object traveled in delta t time. Traveled or covered, let us say covered. Okay, covered in delta t time. Therefore an average velocity, this symbol shows what? Average. So the average velocity is equals to, what is the displacement? What is the initial and final position? So x1 is the initial position and x2 is the final position. Then we can write x2 minus x1 divided by what is the time? Delta t is the time. So this is the formula for average velocity. Are you getting? So average speed, average velocity, total displacement by time, total distance by time. Are you getting, ma? Any doubts? Right, very good. Note, so in a last class I told you that distance is greater than or equal to displacement. This is in a previous session that we are discussed. Okay, from the diagram we can write like this: distance is greater than or equals to displacement. From this we can write like this: so distance by displacement is greater than or equals to 1. This is what we are discussed in, this is what we are discussed in a previous session. Okay, so this formula we got. Okay, distance by displacement is greater than or equals to 1. So from this condition we can write the average speed is greater than or equals to average velocity, and it gives average speed divided by average velocity is greater than or equals to 1. Are you getting ma? Just from this condition I wrote this condition. How? Because distance is greater than displacement or equals to displacement. So if distance is greater than displacement, greater than or equals to displacement, then average speed may be greater than or equals to average velocity. So we can write this equation like this. So this is completely about speed and velocity. Are you getting? Right. So pause the video and write the notes. 3, 2, 1. Right. Right. So now let us see the applications of average speed and the average velocity. Okay. So what is that? Applications of average speed and average velocity. The symbol shows what? Average. Okay. Right. So the first application. Okay. This is the first application. Have a look. A man covers half of the distance with a speed v1 and another half distance with speed v2. Find the average speed. So what is the application? A man covers half of the distance with a speed v1 and another half of the distance with a speed v2. What he asking? He asking to find what is average speed. Right. Solution. Have a look. I'm taking some distance in between 2 points. Right. Let us say this is a point A and this is point B. So what he was given in application, a man covers half of the distance with a speed v1 and another half distance. I'm just dividing this complete distance into two distances. So let us say the total distance is 2d. Okay, total distance is how much? 2d, and I'm divided into two equal parts, d and d. Are you getting? Total distance can be divided into two equal parts. And a man covers half distance with speed v1 and another half distance with speed v2. So this half distance he can move with a speed v1 and another half distance he can move with a speed v2. Now what we have to find? Average speed. So what is the principle of average speed? What is the formula? Total distance divided by total time. So this is the formula of average speed. So we have a total distance. What is the total distance we have? 2d is the total distance. Now we have to find the total time. How can we find the total time? Already I told you that the simple formula for speed is equals to how much? Distance by time. Let us say the time taken for the man to covers this half of the distance is, let us say, t1, and another half of the distance, let us say, t2. So from this condition we can write out time is equals to what? Distance by speed. So t1, what is t1? T1 is equals to distance, first half distance, how much? D, divided by speed v1. Are you getting ma? Any difficulty is there? T2 is equals to what? D by V2. Again the half of the distance is D. The remaining velocity is how much? V2. So we got the formula for V1, T1 and T2. So total time is how much? T1 plus T2. So from this we can write 2D by, are you getting any doubts? Right. So what is T1? D by V1 plus D by V2, right, which is equals to, I'm just writing this equation as 2D by, have a look, here D is there, here one more D is there. If I take D common, can I write like this? 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2. I'm just taking the common D. Again 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2. If you again multiply this D with 1, 1, you will get D by V1, D by V2. Okay. So here D get cancelled out. Then this is equals to 2 by 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2. So this is what average speed. This is what average speed we got. So average speed is equals to what the equation we got? 2 by 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2. Just say this is equation number 1 and put it aside. So we have some work with this equation. Just put it aside. Okay. So equation 1 we got average speed is equals to 2 by, are you able to see the board? No. Speed is equals to 2 by 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2. This is what we got in equation number 1. Average speed is equals to, we can write, so see here 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2 is there. Taking the LCM of this term, 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2, which is equals to V2 into 1 V2 plus V1 into 1 V1 divided by V1 V2. So this is what the LCM of 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2. Just we can write 2 by, what is the value of this? V2 plus V1 divided by V1 V2. And this V1 V2 comes to numerator and it becomes average speed is equals to what? 2 V1 V2 by V1 plus V2. So V2 plus V1, V1 plus V2 both are same. So this is the average speed in this application. Are you getting? Any doubt? Just here I'm taking the LCM of 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2. So I got this term and I'm substituted here and this term went to numerator and finally we got 2 into V1 V2 by V1 plus V2. Any doubt? Right. So have a look. Note. Okay. An object is traveling between two points and it is divided into n equal parts and the object covers each part with a speed v1 comma v2 comma v3 comma and so on vn. Then find out average speed. So what they are asking, so the object is traveling between 2 points. The object is traveling between 2 points. Have a look. This is A, this is B, and it is divided into n equal parts. This distance can be divided into n equal parts. Okay, and the object covers each part with velocity v1, v2, v3 and so on. So this part with v1, v2, v3 and so on vn. Okay, so each and every equal part it covers with the velocity v1, v2, v3 and so on vn. So what he asking? He asking to find what is average speed. We have to find what is the average speed of that object. Okay, solution. I'm just taking equation number 1. I'm just taking equation number 1. So what is the equation number 1? We have average speed is equals to what we got? 2 by 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2. 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2. This is equation number 1. Are you getting? Right. So I'm just writing this equation as 2 by average speed is equals to 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2. Can I write like this? If speed comes to this side, it becomes 2 by average speed. If 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2 comes to this side, it becomes 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2. I'm just interchange denominators and numerator. See, this denominator comes to this side, it becomes numerator, and this numerator comes to this side, it becomes denominator, cross multiplication. Okay, so what we got, 2 by average speed is equals to 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2. That means whenever the object covers one half distance with a speed v1 and another half distance with a speed v2. Okay, how many half distances are there? We have two distances. Then we got this equation. What is that? 2 by average speed is equals to 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2. If you come to here how many distances are there? N distances are there. If there is a two distances, we write out 2 by average speed is equals to 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2. If n distances are there, we can write at the place of 2, we can write n by average speed. Are you getting? And just comparing these two equations. Okay, so n by average speed is equals to, if two velocities are there, we can write 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2. If n velocities are there, we can write 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2 plus 1 by v3 plus and so on. So this is the formula for average speed when the object covers n equal distances with a speed v1, v2, v3 and so on. So what is that? N by average speed is equals to 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2 plus 1 by v3 plus and so on. Okay, so let us see one example. A man covers three equal distances with a speed v1, v2, v3. Okay, how many equal distances? 3, d, d and d. And they are asking to find out what is average speed. What is average speed? Then how can we find? Simply, how many equal distances are there? 3 equal distances. So 3 by average speed is equals to, how many velocities are there? v1, v2, v3. 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2 plus 1 by v3. Just take the LCM of 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2 plus 1 by v3. Okay, are you getting? Do you know how to take the LCM? Right, very good. Now you will get the answer. Okay, so we can write average speed is equals to, again, 3 by 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2 plus 1 by v3. So take the LCM, you will get the answer. Okay, so what is the LCM we get here? So LCM we get v1, v2, v3. So here we got v2, v3, v1, v3, v1, v2. So final answer you will get 3 into, you will get the answer like this. So average speed is equals to 3 into v1, v2, v3 divided by, so v2, v3 plus v1, v3 plus v1, v2. So that is the average speed you will get. Are you able to see the board? Okay. So if you take LCM correctly, you will get the answer. This one, average speed is equals to 3 into v1, v2, v3. So here we got what? 2 into v1, v2. Here 3 into v1, v2, v3. Here LCM is what? v1 plus v2. Here you will get the LCM v2, v3 plus v1, v3 plus v1, v2. Are you getting? Are you getting any doubts? I hope that you are understood this concept. Okay, so pause the video and write the solution. 3, 2, 1, go. So what is the second question? Have a look. A man covers the distance between the 2 points. A man covers, have a look. The solution is, a man covers the distance between the 2 points. Let us say this is a point A and a point B. Distance between the 2 points with a speed v1 in a time t1. So at this time he is not saying the half of the distance or double the distance. They are not giving about information of distance. Just they are given what? Speed and a time only. Okay, so 2 points with a speed v1 in a time t1. Let us consider he started from point A and he is moving towards the point B. So let us consider with a speed v1 in a time t1. Just I am considering he just moved this much of distance. I don't know whether it is half of the distance or not. We don't know exactly. So remaining part. So whatever the remaining part is there. So he covers a remaining distance with a speed v2 in time t2. So remaining distance with a time in a time t2 with a speed v2 he covered. So what he asking to find? He asking to find what is average speed. So how can we measure average speed? What is the formula we have? Just write the formula. Average speed is equals to what? Total distance divided by total time. Total distance divided by total time. So here distance is not given. Distance is not given. But From the normal formula, from the general formula of the speed, we can write a speed is equals to what? Distance by time. We can write like this. Okay. So we don't know the distance. Let us say this distance is s1 and this distance is s2. First distance is s1 and the remaining distance is s2. So from this formula we can write distance is equals to what? Speed into time. Speed into time we can write. So first distance. What is the first distance? S1 is the first distance which is equals to what is the first speed? V1. What is the first time? T1. So we got the first distances. Similarly, S2 is equals to we can write what is the second velocity? V2. What is the second time? T2. So therefore, average speed is equals to total distance. What is the total distance? S1 plus S2. What is the total time? T1 plus T2. Right. So we got our S1, S2 values. What is S1? V1 into T. V1, T1. What is S2? Plus V2 into T2 divided by T1 plus T2. So this is the average speed that we need. Okay, this is what? Average speed. Are you getting? Okay, right. Note. Just I'm writing note. So the note is let T1 is equals to T2 is equals to T. T1 is equals to T2 is equals to T. That means the object covers V1 speed with time T and V2 speed with again time T. So both speeds it travels in a same time. Okay. So just substitute in this equation. Then average speed is equals to V1. What is T1? T1 is nothing but T plus V2. What is T2? T divided by T1 plus T2. T plus T, which is this equation. If we take time T common, see, have a look. V1T plus V2T. I'm taking T common. So we will get V1 plus V2. Have a look. V1T plus V2T. I'm taking out T common. V1 plus V2. T plus T. 2T. So TT get cancelled out. So finally, the average speed is equals to V1 plus V2 divided by 2. So this is the average speed when the object covers different speeds in equal interval of time. Then we will get the average speed is equals to V1 plus V2 divided by 2. So have a look. Note, if the object covers the distance between the 2 points with a velocity V1, V2 and V3 for the time t, then average speed is equals to what we will get? Average speed what we will get? So here have a look, V1 plus V2 divided by 2. Here how many velocities are there? 3 velocities. Just V1 plus V2 plus V3 divided by 3. So this is a average speed or mean speed. In a error concept that we have discussed, mean, okay, true value or mean value. How can we measure the true value or mean value? X1 plus x2 plus x3 divided by n. Okay, so if there is a two values, x1 plus x2 by 2, if here is a three velocities, v1 plus v2 plus v3 by 3, average speed or mean speed or true speed or mean speed, whatever it is. Right. So let us see this question. So solution. What is the question given? A car covers half of the distance between the 2 points. Again, he take 2 points. Right. 2 points. A car covers half of the distance. He take half of the distance. So let us say the total distance is 2d and half of the distance is how much? D, and the remaining half of the distance is how much? Again D. This is point A, this is point B. And a car covers half of the distance between the 2 points, half of the distance between the 2 points with a speed V in a time T. So in these two, one half distance moves with a speed V in a time T. Right? Okay. So and another half distance with a speed v1 for 1/3 time, another half distance. So whatever the remaining distance is there, this distance, sum of the distance, it moves with a speed v1 in a time 1/3 time. Okay, 1/3 time it moves with a speed v1 and v2 for 2/3 time. So remaining distance it is traveled with a speed v2 for 2 by 3 time, 2/3 time. And what we have to find? We have to find the average speed. So he asking what? Average speed. So just write the definition. What is average speed? Total distance divided by total time. Total distance divided by total time. So this is what? Average speed. Okay. So total distance, already we have total distance is how much? 2d. What is the total time from here to here? Time is t plus remaining time. So have a look. Here 1/3 time is there. Here 2/3 time is there. I want to find the time for remaining half of the distance. Okay. Here we have to find t2. I'm just taking the total time to cover this half of the distance is t2. Okay. This half of the distance is how much? t2. I'm just taking a distance formula. I'm just taking distance formula. What is distance? Velocity into time. Velocity into time. But actually in this part, this much of distance is covered with how much velocity? With v1 velocity it covers this much of part. In what time? I am taken total time t2. This much of part is covered in t2 by third time. T2 by third time plus, because I'm taking the total time as T2. That's why I got T2 by third time. So plus remaining remaining distance, it covers with velocity how much? V2. And what is the time taken? 2 by third of T2. 2 by third of T2. Here how much time taken? 1/3 of T2. Are you getting? Okay. So which is equals to, I'm just writing I'm just taking the t2 common. What is the distance from here to here? D will be the distance, which is equals to, I'm taking the t2 common, we'll get v1 by 3 plus 2v2 by 3. So from here distance d is equals to, we can write t2 into, here denominator 3 is there, so just take a LCM, v plus 2v2 divided by 3. What we need? We need time t2. So t2 is equals to, if 3 comes to this side, it becomes 3d by v1 plus 2v2. v1 plus 2v2. So this is what the remaining time to cover half of the distance. Okay, now much? 3d by v1 plus 2v2. So this is what average speed. So if you wanted to take the LCM, just take the LCM, or if you want to leave the answer like this. Okay, are you getting ma? Any doubts? Okay, pause the video and write the notes. 3, 2, 1, go. Right. So one more question is there, and this is a conceptual question. Okay, have a look. A bird flies due north. A bird flies due north with a velocity given, and for 15 seconds. Okay, a bird is flying towards the north direction with this much of speed for this time. So in a displacement concept, I already told you that. So whenever we got the directional problems, how we have to solve? We have to take a coordinate system. This is plus x minus x plus y minus y, right? So what is the unit vector along plus x? I cap minus I cap j cap minus j cap. Okay, so also it is called as a east direction. This is what? West direction, north, and this is what? South direction. Okay, so what he is given in question? A bird flies north. A bird, let us consider this is an origin O. From the origin O, a bird flies towards the north direction. With how much of velocity? Let us say v1 is equals to 20 meter per second. So with this much of velocity, the bird flies towards the north direction. With this much of velocity, how much of time it travels? Let us say t1 is equals to 15 seconds. So he does not given the distance. Okay now. So he does not given the distance. How much of distance it is traveled, he is not given. So I'm just taking this distance as s1. Okay. So after it reaching the s1 distance, what happened? It rests for 5 seconds. It takes some rest for 5 seconds. Just 5 seconds. It takes rest. I'm taking the rest time as a t0. Okay. Again, then it flies due south. Again from this distance, it started its journey towards south direction. Have a look. La 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 la. Towards south direction. With velocity of, let us say this velocity is v2. How much? 24 meter per second. For 10 seconds. Time t2 is equals to how much? 10 seconds. And just taking the bird covers the distance s2. I'm just considering the distance is s2. What he asking? Find the average speed. We have to find what? Average speed. What is average speed? Yeah. Average speed is equals to total distance by total time. Total distance by total time. This is what? Average speed. Okay, are you getting more? Okay. Total distance. What is the total distance? Have a look. From here to here, S1. From here to here, S2. So total distance is what? S1 plus S2 divided by total time. What is the total time? T1 plus T2. One more time is there. What is that time? T0, rest time. So what is S1? What is S1? S1 means distance. Already I told you that. So distance is equals to what? Velocity into time. Distance is equals to velocity into time or speed into time, whatever it is. So distance is equals to what is the first speed? So from this we can write S1 is equals to how much? 20 into 15. 15 20 is a 300 meters. S1 is equals to what? 300 meters. So S2 is equals to velocity into time. What is the velocity? 24 into time 10. 24 into 10, 240 meters. So we got distances S1 and S2. Just substitute. What is S1? 300 plus what is S2? 240 divided by time T1 15 seconds, time T2 10 seconds, time T0 5 seconds. 300 plus 240, 3 plus 2 540 divided by 15 plus 5 20 plus 10 30. 3 ones are 3, 2 remains, 3 eights are 24. So 18, what is 18? Average speed. What are the units? Meter per second. 18 meter per second. This is what? Average speed. Next what we have to find? B, average velocity. What is average velocity? Total displacement. Total displacement divided by total time. Total displacement by total time. I told you that displacement is a vector quantity. We have to consider what? It's a direction also. We have to consider its direction also. So displacement. What is the formula for displacement? Have a look. Displacement is equals to velocity into time. Displacement is equals to velocity into time. Let us consider due to north towards north direction. Towards north direction, I am taking the displacement as a S1. What is the velocity? 20 meter per second into what is the time? 15 seconds. In which direction it is moving? Along positive y direction. What is the unit vector along positive y direction? J cap. S1 is equals to how much? 20 into 15 J cap. So next S2 is equals to in this direction. What is the velocity? 24 meter per second into what is the time? 10 seconds. In which direction it is moving? Downward direction. In downward direction, what is the unit vector? Minus J cap. Minus J cap. Therefore, S2 is equals to minus 240 J cap and S1 is equals to 200 into 15. Sorry, 20 into 15, 300 J cap. So S1 is equals to how much? S2 is equals to how much? 300 J cap, 240 J cap minus. Are you getting? So now total displacement by total time. Total displacement is how much? 300 J cap minus, and let us write like this: S1 plus S2 divided by T1 plus T2 plus T0. What is S2? Sorry, what is S1? 300 J cap minus what is S2? 240 J cap divided by T1 15, T2 10, T0 5. Right, 300 J cap minus 240 J cap, you will get 60 J cap divided by 30. So 31 is a 30, 32 is a 2 J cap. What is this? Average velocity. So likewise you have to find average velocity. It depends upon what? Displacement depends upon what? Direction. So plus J cap minus J cap. Okay, they are given velocity and time. We can find the displacement. How much? Displacement is equals to velocity into time. So the difference between these two is just here we are taken on 300 plus 240. Here we are does not consider the direction, but here we are consider the direction. That is the difference between what? Distance and the displacement. So C. What is C? We have to find its magnitude also. So magnitude of average velocity. So magnitude of velocity is equals to how much? Magnitude of 2 J cap. How to find the magnitude? Under root over 2 square. 2 root cancel out, that is equals to 2. Are you getting? Right. So how much? Magnitude is how much? 2. Average velocity is how much? 2j cap. Average speed is how much? 18 meter per second. And pause the video and write the notes. 3, 2, 1, go. Right. So this is the end of the today's session. I hope that you are enjoyed this lecture. So and you are understood what is the speed, what is velocity, what is average velocity, what is average speed, and how to solve whenever they are given this type of directional problems in case of average speed and average velocity. Right. So this is Rakesh Kanaganti signing off. Keep watching. Jai Hind.